Nice to meet you, Michael. I just wanted to say that I'm a college student, and so like about a month ago was finals, and I just wanted to thank you for this interview because for me it's 9 in the morning. I have not been able to fix my sleep schedule for a month because the way like all-nighters and stuff, it's been impossible. Like I went to sleep at like 3:30 in the morning. This is the first night I like reset. So personally, thank you. I'm so excited to meet you and talk to you today.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, it's lovely to chat with you, and I'm sending you lots of good vibes. And it's not easy in school, so it's not easy. So I'm thank the it's great to chat with you.
Yeah, thank you, of course. Last year I got to go to the Her Universe fashion show for the first time, and so it was so cool
Yeah.
to see both of you on stage. So I have so many questions about the fashion show and also your guys' podcast together.
Yes.
But the first thing I wanted to ask about, I like to ask everyone in this business that I meet, like, what are some of your initial inspirations, or were there any fictional characters that inspired you to want to do what you do?
Ooh. Um. I think I don't know if there's any fictional ones for me. I will say, for me, it has been about the the people who are unapologetically themselves. I've been inspired by artists who just are unapologetically themselves, and so I think that you know anytime I've gotten to grow when I was growing up and I saw an artist who just like was like, I am, this is who I am. That to me was always so inspiring. I think that's kind of what inspired me as an artist to sort of grow up to be hopefully somebody who is unapologetic as well.
Yeah, I love that. And being the longest running Genie in like Broadway playing in Aladdin, right? I wanted to find out also, what do you love about Broadway and acting?
I, I there's nothing like Broadway. There's nothing like what that energy that is Broadway. It's been the thing that for me has been like what I've wanted to do since I was a little boy. It is the place that I feel like accepted me, accepted my all of my craziness and my isms, and it was like, there's a place for you here. That to me is really wonderful, and the energy of Broadway, the energy of what it is to be on Broadway and what it means to be on Broadway has always been a dream of mine. So that's kind of where it came from.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, and speaking of acting, you have an acting friend, Ashley Eckstein, who you got your Hype Friends podcast together. You also co-host the fashion show together. I'm kind of curious to know a little bit about like your friendship and how did you guys like initially met? Because I believe it started in high school. How did you like keep in touch through all the craziness over the years?
So yeah, so we got to meet in high school, that's a whole thing, which was obviously a wonderful time because Ashley and I we met in high school and we were good friends during that time, and then life happened, right? I went to college, Ashley went to college, she left and went sort of like to LA. I went to New York. Life happened, and then we ended up meeting back up. Our paths crossed back up, and it was like as if time had not passed, and we did a big catch up, and our lives took us, interestingly enough, within the Disney family, and then brought us being two Orlando kids, and coming back home, and that connection together. And then she invited me to be a co-host for the Her Universe fashion show a few years ago, and it was just like magic. And so that's kind of where it sort of came from, and we knew that we knew that we had to do more. And so this podcast of rooted in friendship really came about. And Ashley had been using the term hashtag hype friend on her social media for for some time, and that just made sense to us, and what that meant to be a hype friend, and what that meant to really be friends in real life and take that, continue it on. So it's what starting a friendship revolution, one hype friend at a time, is what we want to do and what we're setting out to do. And that's where it all came about.
That's awesome. I have one hype friend myself, like with my best friend. It's kind of like a similar situation, but we met in like college and then pandemic, life happened, and we live like apart, but we talk all the time. And like hearing you talk about your friendship with Ashley and like the whole hype friend thing, I was listening to your podcast before we spoke today, and so I just resonated with that idea because that's kind of how we are with each other. So I think that's really beautiful.
Oh, I love that. I'm so happy that that you can connect. And I love that you have your own hype friend, and you get it. And that's the thing, and it also, as you know, like it takes work to be a friend, and you want to,
Hmm.
and it's important to be honest and open and vulnerable and meeting your friends where they are for that day. And just, that it's a different type of friend. Making friends now in 2025 is very different from when, like, when Ashley and I were growing up, right? And so we want to explore that. We want to explore, the younger generation's friends to, to friendships that are older than us, and like what that actually is, and how you maintain it in this digital age, and what that really means.
Yeah, the friendship totally looks so different in our time. It's very strange.
Very
I
strange, right? It is. It's strange. And
it is.
like there are people that are friends, like really good friends, who a lot of them have actually not met in life. Like they're friends virtually, but they really are like real friends. And
Yeah,
that's
totally.
something that's completely different from when I was growing up. And it's so valid on so many levels. So, that's why that's interesting and so unique. And so we want to explore that, because that's a whole new thing.
Yeah, totally. I have another best friend just like that who lives in Washington. We're like the closest friends ever. I'm in Los Angeles. We've only like got to hang out a couple of times because it is a bit far. But just like you said, we're just like really close friends, and but it's mostly virtual. Which is because of the pandemic. We met during lockdown, playing like video games at 2 in the morning. The most random thing that just went to like one of the best friendships I've ever had.
I love
Um,
that. I love that.
yeah. Thank you. And so back to your friendship with Ashley, and co-hosting the Her Universe fashion show, like you spoke to wanting to be in entertainment and loving acting so much. So I wanted to know, what does it mean to you to get to be co-hosting this fashion show that has beautiful outfits from all of these different like beloved entertainment franchises? Like how does that feel to you when you're on the stage and just seeing it all?
Oh gosh, it's so fulfilling on so many levels, because this year's theme, is defying fashion, fashion that defies expectations, right? And so to be able to see designers in an you know unapologetic, uninhibited way. We said defy fashion, like defy it, right? So I'm just it's just so heartwarming and so beautiful to be able to see that in person. Like, we hundreds of designers, apply to be able to do the show, and 25 are picked, and so it's the best of the best. And there are so many other ones I think if they could, they would have everybody. There's just so much talent. Just, my God, so much talent. It's so fun to be surprised. I love being there and just being surprised and seeing the, like, what's in their minds, like what comes out of their minds of these amazing, designs, because I'm so inspired by that, and the inclusivity of it all. That to me is so important and so beautiful and so needed. And you feel safe, and you feel like you can do something extreme and it be received with, applause and cheering, and just embraced by this amazing community. I love that. I'm a fan, of it. So being on stage, I'm just as surprised.
Yeah, that's actually one thing I was curious about because like sitting in there like in the front row last time, I was just amazed every time a new dress came out or a new outfit. I was like, wow. And so I was wondering for you if you had any idea ahead of time what was coming, or is it like just as blank for you too?
It's I see some hints, but I also don't want to. So
Okay.
I actually, I try to not see anything so that I can be surprised because I found the first year when I literally did not know what was coming. I was like, oh my God. So the next year I was like, I don't want to know, and now I'm kind of been to that space of this year, I've seen certain, little things, but I want to keep it pretty secretive for myself too, so that I can in real time see what's happening with the audience. I find that that's just it's just for me it's just more fun and also just spontaneous in the moment to really take that in with the audience.
Yeah, totally. And I'm so curious to know also like how does acting on Broadway translate to doing the fashion show if there's any crossover there?
Yeah. So I mean, I get to, I have sang each year, which has been really, really cool. And you know, bringing that theatrical element. Yes, it's a fashion show, but as you've been there, you've seen it's a theatrical experience as
Mhm.
well. And so being able to bring my Broadway pizzazz, if you will, to the fashion show has been, such an honor and um, so unique because it is put, it's kind of put I feel like the Her Universe fashion show is in a category of its own. And so it can have theatrical elements. It can have, a quote unquote traditional fashion show element. It can have a party element. It can have, a concert element. It's like it's its own thing. What other fashion show allows the audience to come up and do a walk? You know what I'm saying? Like that is like one of the most exciting parts of the night, and it is open to the audience, and they get to walk down that runway and experience that walk and experience that joy for themselves too. That to me is like everything.
Yeah, speaking of people getting to go up there, I did that. That was so much fun. I've always wondered what it's like to walk the runway, and I was like, okay, we did that. So that was awesome.
Oh, I love
Um,
that you did it.
yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna hopefully do it again next week. Um,
Yes.
and among the new things that you guys are doing this year, you guys have a surprise guest or a guest judge. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
We do. It was just announced that Marissa Bode will be our one of our guest judges, which is so exciting. Obviously, her iconic performance as Nessa Rose in the film Wicked is obviously will stand the test of time for now. And the fact that she gets to come and be one of our judges is just such an honor. We are so excited to welcome her into the Her Universe fashion show community, into the family that is Her Universe, and have her perspective and her feel the inclusivity of what this whole family of amazingness offers. So we're really thrilled, and I'm so excited to meet her.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see her. And then another new thing you guys have, I know I have to wrap, but I just want our audience to know is you guys are also doing a live taping of your podcast the next day
Yes.
following the fashion show. Michael, it was so good to meet you. Sadly, we are out of time, but I feel like we could talk for a whole podcast episode length. So thank you so much for your time today, and I'll see you next week.
Yes, absolutely. We can't wait to have you. Lovely to
Bye.
see you. Mwah.